A review by Michelle Price CSW on Monogamy by Adam Phillips, Pantheon Books, 1996. In brief, Phillips is known for questioning common ideas and things we usually accept without thinking. In this book, he does this with the idea of monogamy, which is often seen as very important or sacred. Instead of focusing on problems like divorce or cheating, Phillips looks closely at the idea of monogamy itself. He doesn't say monogamy is good or bad. Instead, he just raises questions about what it could mean for us. He also examines the connection between being faithful and being unfaithful, looking at ideas about pleasure, sex, and desire. Phillips uses humor, but the book also contains serious thoughts about relationships. He talks about things like love, hate, and attachment. Phillips brings up points, but lets the reader think about them in their own way. He doesn't try to force his ideas or use academic references. Phillips is surprised that monogamy is often expected when successful long-term monogamy isn't very common. He even wonders if maybe infidelity should be seen as the usual thing instead, making monogamy the unusual one. According to Phillips, we might start life in a kind of monogamous relationship with a parent, which already includes the idea of betrayal. This suggests that monogamy and infidelity might be linked from the beginning of our lives. He also thinks about what creates and keeps desire going. Phillips suggests that choosing monogamy is not just about committing to one person, but also to a certain way of living and thinking about desire. He notes that people have different ideas about what counts as cheating. He provocatively says that to love our partners, we have to be addicted to the rules that define our faithfulness. Phillips suggests that sometimes couples use their relationship to hide, even from themselves. In this sense, being faithful could sometimes mean betraying yourself and staying stuck instead of being fully alive. He mentions that monogamy could be seen as looking for someone to die with, or, at its worst, avoiding the fears that come with being alive. Ultimately, the review sees Phillips's book as more than just witty remarks. It contains important observations that make us think deeply about key parts of life like desire, connection, sexuality, and aliveness. So the overall focus of the review highlights Phillips's psychoanalytic approach to questioning and destabilizing the institution of monogamy, examining it not as a given or ideal, but as a subject for critical analysis. Phillips challenges conventional notions of fidelity, infidelity, desire, and the underlying psychological motivations behind committed relationships. 8 key themes and important ideas. 1. Questioning the taken-for-granted nature of monogamy. A central theme is Phillips's challenge to the societal assumption that monogamy is the default or preferred relationship structure. The review states, Phillips astutely wonders as to why monogamy is taken for granted when in fact successful monogamy is quite rare. He suggests an alternative perspective. He wonders as to whether infidelity should be taken for granted and be the standard, whereby then monogamy would be the outsider, the exotic, and the other. This reversal of perspective forces a critical examination of the assumptions surrounding monogamy. 2. Monogamy and infidelity as intertwined from birth. Phillips posits a psychoanalytic link between early life experiences and later relationship patterns. According to the review, we all begin life in a monogamous relationship with betrayal and infidelity inevitably built into it. This refers to the parent-child relationship, where the child's first love affair is with someone who is married or connected to another. They betray us and we betray them, parent and child locked together in a relationship whereby they are bound to abandon and cheat on one another. Consequently, for the rest of our lives, our commitments to others are inevitably about our commitments to our original partners, ourselves, and the pursuits of pleasures and desire. 3. Monogamy as a potential escape or entrance into desire. The review notes Phillips's complex view on how monogamy relates to desire. It can be a way to avoid confronting one's own desires and questions. The reviewer states that for a compulsive monogamist, the future is the same as the past, and such a person values a relationship because it lasts and thereby lives as if time proves something. However, Phillips exposes monogamy as having the potential, as does infidelity, to be an escape from desire as well as an entrance into it. 4. Fidelity as an art and not necessarily personal. Phillips suggests that in some cases, the act of being faithful, the art of faithfulness, is prioritized over the specific person one is faithful to. The review quotes Phillips, "Fidelity is not something that should necessarily be taken too personally. This implies that fidelity can become a rigid adherence to a concept rather than a deep connection to an individual." 5. Individually constructed rules of monogamy and infidelity. Phillips argues that the boundaries of monogamy and infidelity are not universally defined, but are individually constructed. The review quotes Phillips, "For some people it is a betrayal to dance with someone else. For other people only intercourse counts, so you do everything else with impunity. If we didn't have our own rules, how would we know we were being unfaithful? To love our partners, we have to be addicted to the rules." This highlights the subjective nature of these concepts and the personal definitions that individuals bring to their relationships. 6. Monogamy as a lifestyle choice and commitment to self. Phillips views choosing monogamy as more than just a commitment to a partner. It's a commitment to a particular lifestyle, a certain form of fidelity and desire that is individually constructed. Ultimately, successful monogamy involves the ongoing and continuous ability to sustain our desires and pleasures with and for another. It is about more than being faithful to another. It is about staying alive and therefore faithful to oneself. 7. Monogamy as a potential hiding place and betrayal of self. Phillips suggests that couples can use each other to hide from themselves and the reality of their hiding. This can lead to faithfulness becoming a betrayal of self and other, and a way of staying dead rather than alive. The review includes a poignant quote from Phillips illustrating this point. "At its best, monogamy may be the wish to find someone to die with. At its worst, it is a cure for the terrors of aliveness." They are easily confused. 8. Phillips's psychoanalytic spirit and approach. The reviewer emphasizes that despite its unconventional style, Phillips's book is fundamentally psychoanalytic in its spirit. He is described as a clever and astute observer and critic of the common sense, who destabilize us and put us in question that very institution that we hold sacred, monogamy. He doesn't normalize or pathologize monogamy, but rather questions it to raise possibilities regarding its potential meanings for us. His approach involves provocative observations and allowing the reader to utilize his insights as they wish, without excessive elaboration or citation. Conclusion of the review. While acknowledging that Phillips's book could be seen as simply witty or cynical, the reviewer argues against this interpretation. She believes monogamy contains astute and profound observations that challenge all of us to engage the essential issues of life: desire, attachment, sexuality, and aliveness. This briefing document summarizes the main points and important ideas presented in the provided review of Adam Phillips's book Monogamy. It highlights Phillips's unconventional and psychoanalytic approach to examining a fundamental societal construct.